What's going on YouTube? JT1 here. Welcome to another edition of After the Movie. Finally, finally after weeks and weeks of wanting to see this film, I got the chance to check it out. This is my review on Mission Impossible Fallout. So if you haven't seen the last couple videos I posted on my channel, I did reviews of the entire Mission Impossible series because I'm somebody who has not seen the movies up until this past, maybe just over a month and a half ago is the first time I started watching the Mission Impossible series. But yeah, so it's my first time ever seeing this whole series all the way through. So I don't have like built-in anticipation leading into this film because like all the movies were just coming like, super fresh to me. But in terms of this film, Mission Impossible Fallout, I will state here, it is the best in the series. I know I've said that a lot over the course of it. It was getting better 1 through 3, but I still like 3 a little bit more than 4. Not that 4 wasn't terrible or anything like that. I thought 4 was good, but I still like 3 more than 4. And 5 was even better than that. And then 6 just ups the ante even further. The action sequences in this film are absolutely incredible. There's a sense of realism that I have not seen captured on film, like with the stakes like this. I mean, I was just like gripping my armrest the whole time. I'm like, holy shit, look at that scene. Look at that scene. Like, Tom Cruise is legit hanging from that helicopter. And I'm like, it put me in a state of uneasiness. Like, holy shit, he could legitimately die at any point in the movie. Obviously, he didn't, but he did break his ankle in one shot. That scene where he, like, jumps from, like, a rooftop to another building. I've seen the footage. Like, his ankle just goes, ah! But, like, Tom Cruise, tough son of a bitch that he is, pushed through it and got the take in. And I got to give him props for that. And I got to give props to Christopher McQuarrie, who comes back from the previous film, Rogue Nation, who comes back to write and direct. And I think he does an even better job in this one. He knows more what he wants to do. He ups the ante for sure. We have a better antagonist this time around. Solomon Lane is back from the previous film, and he's much better in this film. Because, like, the previous film, like, he's kind of nothing. But this time, when you see him with, the whole full-grown beard, he's, chained up. He's trying to escape and stuff. And he's working with another operative. I guess it's spoiler territory, but if you've seen the trailers, you know who the antagonist is. It's Henry Cavill. I'll just say that. I mean, I wasn't surprised at all. I knew going into the movie that he was in like an antagonistic role, and I was wondering, like, are they gonna? I mean, it's pretty predictable in that regard. It's like, gee, I wonder who's gonna betray them. Pretty much, if you're not part of the core group, like Benji or Luthor or Ilsa Faust or Julia or Alec Baldwin or Jeremy Renner, you're pretty much guaranteed to be evil. So, yeah. Alec Baldwin's back in this one as well from Rogue Nation. He's in there for, a decent amount of screen time, not too much. Jeremy Renner, unfortunately, was back because he had to film Avengers 4. He's not even in Avengers Infinity War, surprisingly. But, yeah, so he's not in this one. Ilsa Faust is back. His wife, holy shit, she's back. I have not seen her really do anything since 3, which I was glad, because it was kind of irritating me that, Julia had no speaking lines in 4, and she's not even really shown in 5, and then, like, finally she says stuff, and she, like, actually helps out a bit, which I was appreciative, because it was kind of bothering me this whole time how she did, like, absolutely nothing in the other films. It's kind of just brushed aside a bit. You know what I mean? I mean, they reference it, but it's not necessarily, like, brought up in that. But anyway, so the plot of this film, it's like 2 or 3 years after the previous film, Rogue Nation. Solomon Hunt, who was the leader of the Syndicate, the criminal organization. Basically, this series equivalent of Spectre, and he got captured. Some of his followers, known as the Apostles or whatever, are on the loose. Ethan Hunt has to steal some plutonium from them. He has to recover it. Something goes wrong. The plutonium is out in the open, and then because Ethan Hunt screwed up on a mission, Angela Bassett comes in with Henry Cavill, who plays August Walker, and they in essence have to go and recover the plutonium, and a bunch of crazy action sequences and series of events. Like, there's a great sequence where, like, a motorcycle chase scene is going down, Tom Cruise is running, jumping from buildings, hanging from helicopters, piloting the helicopters. That was him piloting the helicopters, so it gives us a sense of realism and tension that I haven't seen matched in a film in quite a long time. And there's an awesome fight scene in a bathroom where Henry Cavill, he recharges his arms, and, like, they just kick the shit out of each other, and it's awesome. Like, it kind of reminds me of John Wick, although John Wick is a bit more of a fun, like, it has a better sense of humor than the Mission Impossible series does. But, you know, and like there's a lot more gore and like body counts, but like this stuff, like this is like on the edge of your seat. You're just like, oh man, what is Tom Cruise? What are they going to do next? I mean, they just keep topping themselves, and like they just get better and better. With the exception of 3 to 4, I still think 3 is better. But you know, this series, it just improved greatly. They found their groove. Really, I want to say like 3, they were onto something great. 4, they kind of found the tone that they were looking for, and 5, they improved upon that, and then this one just got even better. And I'm just like, yeah, keep going, keep going. Granted, this is a long movie. It is 2.5 hours, and if you factor in, you know, stuff, I was in that theater for almost 3 hours today, and I mean, I was on the edge of my seat like the whole way through, and I was like, oh shit, they did something crazy. But then, you know, they have their moments where they do the fake outs over and over again. I'm like, oh wow, this would have been kind of bold. But yeah, some of it is predictable, and I'll say like you kind of know who's gonna live and who's not gonna live. It's fairly obvious, but the execution of it all, the execution is extremely well done, and I had a really great time with Mission Impossible Fallout. I think this is the best one in the whole series. I have no idea where they're going with the next one. I mean, there's no like loose ends necessarily left over from this one, like there was like when they had going into from like Ghost Protocol to Rogue Nation, and then like going from Rogue Nation into, you know, Fallout. So I have no idea what they're gonna do with the next one. I don't know what crazy sequences that they're gonna do. But regardless, I'm very much looking forward to what they do next in this series. Because, like, Tom Cruise, dude can still go. He's still busting his ass, like, going across the world, doing all these crazy stunts. Holy shit, like, I don't know what my favorite sequence was. I love the Halo jump type sequence where it was him and Henry Cavill. And, like, I guess that was legitimately Tom Cruise doing, because he went through the training. Tom Cruise, man, you know, say what you want about him in, like, real life, but I've never, like, Tom Cruise, you gotta give him props. The man gives it his all. He's out there, he's hanging from helicopters, he's jumping from planes, he's, you know, piloting these motorcycles, like weaving in between cars. That's all him. Like, I guess there's maybe 1 or 2 stunts he can't do, but Tom Cruise, he goes through the training, he makes sure everything's safe and secure, and he busts his ass just trying to entertain. And you know what? I gotta give props for Tom Cruise to that. I mean, some people may be annoyed with him, which is perfectly fine, but I gotta give him props. I gotta give him credit where credit is due. He kind of reminds me a bit of Jackie Chan, although he has a lot more. Jackie Chan didn't have as many restrictions as Tom Cruise would have. Like, Jackie Chan, like, there's this movie where he hangs from, like, a helicopter. He doesn't have, like, wiring or harnesses or anything like that. Tom Cruise still has the stuff, but granted, Tom Cruise is still out there doing the stunts, but obviously, for insurance and safety purposes, they're not going to hang him without any sort of harness, which they can just, you know, digitally remove afterwards. But with Jackie Chan and that, like, he didn't have the advantage of current technology today to keep someone safe. But still, like, Tom Cruise, he busts his ass and he goes out there, and I gotta give him props for what he does. And yeah, I thought this film, the antagonist was better this time around. Solomon Lane was much better in this film than he was in Rogue Nation, and Henry Cavill combined with him made for a good antagonist. Like, just the intensity, the ass-kicking nature of the characters, how Solomon Lane plays everybody towards the end of the film, like leaving you on the edge of your seat. Benji's back. Simon Pegg is good as always. Ving Rhames, who's been there since the beginning, is good as always. Like I said, I was glad Julia did her thing. Ilsa Faust is back doing her thing. She's pretty good from Rogue Nation. And I just had a really great time with this film. Like I said, it was like sitting in that theater was like almost 3 hours of length, but it's a very, very good 3 hours. So I was blown away by how much better this film was. And like, going from like the first film to now, I'm like, wow, can you imagine if this film was like how like the first film was? And, you know, I meant like, imagine if this series was at this consistency of quality, like basically from like, I guess you could say 4 onward is where people have really like latched onto the series, but this one just upped the ante and just so good. I'm just so happy with the way this film was. And yeah, I guess I should comment on the mustache. The mustache is cool. The super stash that, you know, kind of ruined Justice League a lot for people. But yeah, this was great. Very impressed with what they did with this film, and I'm very much looking forward. And hopefully they do another film. I mean, if they don't, I'll leave this series satisfied. But if they do, I'm very much looking forward to what they do next. So take that for what it's worth. That's my review on Mission Impossible Fallout. Hope you enjoyed this video. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You want to chat more about Mission Impossible, you follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/SeanJTKing. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Mission Impossible Fallout? I was extremely impressed with it. Just top to bottom, the writing, the storyline, just everything just clicked with this film. It was, by God, it was great. That's all I got to say. I was really impressed with Fallout. So, best film in the whole series. I don't know how they're going to continue, like, topping themselves with the next film if they do one, which I'm pretty certain that they will, because Fallout has just been, it's been praised universally. Like, some people are like, yeah, this one, like, everything just top notch. By God, the stunts. If you're someone who's never seen a Mission Impossible film, this film was worth it just for the action sequences alone on the biggest screen possible, because I was just like, holy shit, yeah, this is great, this is great. Yeah, and watch it, like, I think Screen Junkies did a Cram It video, or a bunch of other channels have. Just watch that if you haven't seen them, and then just go into this film. So, you'll be pretty good. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. We've been chatting for, like, over 10 minutes. I think I've said that all that I need to say. If you want to talk more about the movie, leave a comment below. And, yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, wow, I wrapped up the Mission Impossible series. I don't know what's next that I'm really looking forward to seeing in the theaters. I think The Nun comes out in a few weeks. That's something I want to see. But pretty much all I wanted to see that's out, I've seen. Well, maybe I want to see Christopher Robin. I don't know. I'll wait for a DVD and that, because I love The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. That's one of my childhood favorites. But I didn't really have an interest in seeing Christopher Robin on the big screen. I mean, I might see it. I don't know. And the best part about seeing Fallout 2 is, like, I had a free ticket, so it didn't really cost me anything. But yeah, best free movie experience I've had. So that's all I gotta say. All right, I've said all I need to say. Blah blah blah. This is just going on way longer than it needs to. Go see Mission Impossible Fallout. It's fucking awesome. Dun 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 dun. End the video. Comment, like, subscribe. Whatever. Fuck it. Just cut it right here. Cut it. Go see it though. It's great.